adaptations to long-term training. There are different demands that are needed for different sports. For example, a sprinter would need much different demands compared to a marathon runner. As a marathon runner, intensity would be very low and high duration, and would also need to work on his aerobic activity. So this is vital that he uses the right training plan to make sure he can perform to his best. Likewise, for the 100-meter sprinter, they wouldn't necessarily focus on their aerobic and would mainly focus on anaerobic, as this would be for high intensity, low duration. For both athletes, however, they will use the FIT principle, which is frequency, intensity, time and type. Frequency would be how many times you would be training a week, for instance. Intensity would be how hard you are working. Time is for how long you'll be training and exercising for, and the type is what type of training you'll be doing, such as fartlek training or long endurance training. So for a 100-meter sprinter, they would have to focus on training such as powerful training and plyometrics, so that they can build up their muscular strength within their lower body. However, for the marathon runner, they would have to use longer endurance training such as continuous training, as they will be running for an extremely long time throughout their training sessions, as this will improve their muscles endurance, which will allow them to perform better on the day. This will also improve their aerobic capacity when training in the long term, which will then make them a better racer and hopefully give them a better time. Aerobic training would mainly be used for long distance events such as the marathon or events such as the triathlon, as these events generally last longer than an hour and will need to have good muscle, and the athletes will need to have good muscular endurance to do well in these events. For a marathon, for instance, you will need at least 3 months to prepare, so your body can adapt to all these physiological changes that are happening. The type of training that you will need to do for this would be continuous trainings, so that they can get used to the running for a long time, and so they can improve their aerobic fitness capacity. Also train between 40% and 60% of their maximum heart rate, as this is what they'll be doing on the day of their race. However, it is a good sometimes to mix up between the two percentages, so you can train for less duration but higher intensity on one day, but the opposite on another, so you can improve your not just your fitness but also your speed throughout. For a 100-meter sprinter, anaerobic training. For a 100-meter sprinter, anaerobic training would be perfect, as the athlete will need to train at a very high intensity, however, for a short time. For the 100-meter athlete, they will need to use lots of weight training to improve their strength in their muscles, especially in their lower body, to improve their time. And when lifting weights, would also need to use around 6 reps to a medium to heavy weight to improve their muscular strength. This means they would also have to use 80 to 90% of their heart rate and also 80 to 90% of their 1 rep max, as they will be doing lots of low reps. They should also be training at least 4 times a week, which means that they could use different training throughout. For instance, one day do a slightly longer 400-meter training to improve their anaerobic fitness. However, they should, for the rest of the days of the week, they should be improving their strength and anaerobic fitness and their capacity. The overall adaptations that can occur will be that the athlete's VO2 max will increase, along with their lactate threshold during aerobic, and also anaerobic threshold will be pushed to the limit when training, which means that their anaerobic threshold will increase heavily. Neuromuscular adaptations. There are many neuromuscular adaptations that can occur when training. For instance, hypertrophy can increase, which is the increase in the muscles cross-section area, which means that there will be an increased force production when it comes to training. Also, the tendon strength will increase as a result of this. Also, the glycogen stores will increase, the myoglobin stores will increase, and the neural pathways also increase.